Here we are again, another week, and I wanted to talk briefly about a little bit about last week. And when your question came up about seriously ill newborns, this is an ethical issue and one that we'll see more and more of, and there's a good reason for it. One of the reasons why this becomes so difficult is the cost of a mentally ill-born child is in the millions and millions of dollars to maintain them, to help them to live, whether they survive or not. And when you take a child who has very serious problems, such as, having to deal with no brain stem that's never going to get any better, we're talking just really serious difficulties that if they're left without a lot of medical treatment to their own would probably not survive. And the question about who pays for it, and this is where the issue is going to become crucial. If a parent can afford to take care of the health needs of this newborn child, then there is no question. That's their call, their decision. It's their finances that do so. The second part of it that most of you dealt with had to do with insurance. And there is no insurance on a newborn. Insurance does not begin on children until they are usually 3 months old. So the whole cost, the initial cost and everything, is turned over to the hospitals and to the public to pay. As taxpayers, when you see this tremendous cost of, let's say, anywhere from 1 million to 6, 7, 8, even more million, to just keep that child coming out of the hospital, and then you ask the taxpayer to pay for it, it becomes serious. One of the recommendations from the APA is that every hospital have a board, and it's an ethics board that sits and goes over each case and makes a decision about the hospital's commitment to the health care of that child. What's right, what's fair, I don't know for sure. I really don't. But it is a very serious debate. Sometimes, we throw away people. The elderly, they're going to die anyway, so why spend all this money socially to keep them in care? Those are issues that each of us needs to deal with. So as you're looking at those ethics, they will come up again, and you'll be asked to take a look at them. I'd like to have all of you read all of your answers. They were fascinating to read. So some of you were very impassioned about what you had to say. And if you want, on the night that we have the movie, those of you who come, if you want to discuss this issue and hear what each other had to say, it's well worth your time. Do I know how I feel? No, I don't, because it's not my child. If it were my child individually, it wouldn't make a decision necessary on my part, because I know what I would do. But I can tell you that families can become impoverished very easily, and a lot of divorces end up over the care of maintaining a child who is going to be part of your family from birth until your death, and then you need to make arrangements for them to have long-term care after you're gone. Interesting thoughts. You did really well on the client-centered. Almost all of you got that completely right. Carl Rogers would be really proud, and I am too, that you get that so well. One of the things about client-centered is that it fits right in with the psychosocial model, because every individual has the right to be included in what happens to them. If I decide that I want to be homeless and that I don't want to be cooped up, why can't that be my right? And if I am that, do I still receive services? To receive mental health services, you have to be mentally ill when you're homeless. Anybody does to get mental health services. If you're not mentally ill, you don't get any services. And so there's very little available sometimes unless you can prove that mental illness. But it is, each person is different than every other person. My schizophrenia is different than your schizophrenia, if you will. And so how it's managed is something between the case manager, the team, whoever it is that's going to help this person adapt comfortably to the society around them. when we get into the domain questions, you can redo anything that I assign you, even the domains. And if you want to do that and go back and take another look, what's important here is that you know what the domains deal with and that you understand those concepts. I don't care. You can resubmit your answers. And I'm going to allow anything to be redone up until the last couple of weeks of the class. And March the 7th would be a good time to turn them in. It's really hard on emails. I get a whole collection and then I have to go back and forth to make sure that I got what you sent me. But if you're going to redo anything, the assignments are closed online. You have to submit it to me on an email. And make those easy to read if you wouldn't mind. An RTF document is a whole lot easier to read than just sentences all piled together. So anyway, if on March the 7th, which is what I'm going to talk about here in just a second, you want to come and even discuss your answers with me, I'll often discuss an answer verbally with you and give you credit. It's just the same as if you wrote it out for me. I deliberately gave a couple of assignments in person. Just looking at your discussion answers and how you talk to each other is a really good reason why some of you would love to talk to each other in person. And those of you that I know and have had in class before, I love to hear what you have to say, and I learned so much from each of you. But I want to give you the chance to work together on Nobody's Child. And if you come and see the video, and it only is a 90-minute, you can do the assignment right there and get credit for it right there in class, because you can discuss it as a group and get your answers that way. And I think that's a good part of learning. If you don't want to do that, you're certainly welcome to do it on your own, but you need to start thinking about participating somehow in the information in that video. And there is a question sheet that I will put into the module so that you'll have that to do the answers. Those of you who come to see the video, I'll give you the sheet there. I need also to know who is going to come. So if you're going to come, let me know, because if nobody's going to come, then we'll cancel the assignment. But you can email me, just a quick email or a phone call, and I'll start checking your name off on a list so that I know. And you know, I don't care how many it is, even if it's 1 or 2 people, we'll go ahead and meet as long as there's anybody that wants to do that. I hope you have a great week. If you have any questions, if you have any concerns, if you find that I make any mistakes, don't hesitate to let me know. I really appreciate it. See you soon. Bye.